of Republican Congresswoman Lisa McClain, the chair of the House Republican Conference, who is joining us now live from Capitol Hill on Bloomberg TV and radio. Chairman McClain, we appreciate your time. When we consider that GM says that these investments in aggregate will add between 3,000 and 4,000 U.S. jobs, how many of those are you expecting to be at home in your district?
Just a little over 2,300 jobs for Lake Orion. It is a huge investment for that community. We are extremely excited, and the economic impact that it's going to have is obvious, right? Not just with the Lake Orion plant, but right with the coffee shops and the new homes and all the money going back into the economy in Lake Orion. Huge. But also it provides a lot of hope for our community in my district. And if I can just say, this isn't just another example of President Trump promises made, promises kept. He told you he was going to bring manufacturing back to America and jobs back to America. And thank you for bringing it back to my home state and my district in Lake Orion. So we're very excited.
Well, it's great to have you back, Congresswoman, and thanks for your patience. I know you were listening to that interview with the CFO at General Motors, and I want to just go a bit further into the labor picture here before we ask you some other questions about this. Michigan has an unemployment rate of 5.5%, and I wonder if you have the labor pool now, if this will require training, or there are unemployed workers from the business who can move right into these positions.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a combination of both, and I haven't seen all the details yet, meaning, I don't think there's going to be 2,300 jobs that start tomorrow afternoon, so I think it's going to be a combination. I think we have the workforce, but I think we're going to have to do some investing and retooling, so to speak, on training of these jobs. But Michiganders are resilient. We have a good partner with GM. We have a good partner with the local officials in the local community of Lake Orion, that we're going to be able to get this done to make sure that we can get the plant up and running as soon as possible with skilled workers.
Well, and for all of the economic benefit that you are expecting from this investment, of course, part of the reason companies like GM are looking at more onshoring is because of the tariff regime the president has put into place. To what extent do you expect the positive economic effects of that might be offset by higher costs that could result from the said tariffs?
The said tariffs are exactly what you said, the said tariffs. And I know there's a lot of uncertainty around right now, but they're not set in stone. So I think the tariffs, as I said many times before, is a negotiation tool to renegotiate our trade deals and bring manufacturing and jobs back to America. So I don't know what the effect is going to be. I believe that there could be a possibility that we see a reduction in the tariffs. I mean, look at the deal that the president just signed with China, not to mention the other 80 countries that have come to the table to renegotiate trade deals. So I'm optimistic that it will offset a lot, but maybe there won't even be that much to offset because the tariffs are being used effectively as a negotiation tool.
Yeah, we should note that we are waiting for that deal, the framework at least, that was announced to be formalized and approved by President Xi. But I know as well you're crediting President Trump's trade policies here for this investment and the shift to the U.S. We know as well that General Motors is confirming that it has no plans to produce electric vehicles at the Orion plant. These are going to be gas-only vehicles following the retooling. Is that also a response to President Trump's approach, or is it a response to customer demand?
Well, I think you heard the gentleman on before Paul say it is a demand, right? I don't know that it's as much a retaliation or whatever word you use. I think it is more a reflection on the demand of what consumers want. President Trump, I don't think, cares what type of vehicle you drive, whether it's an electric vehicle or whether it's a gas-powered vehicle. He just wants the American people to be able to choose. And I think what you see from GM is without those subsidies, you're seeing the demand, say, from consumers saying, hey, we prefer a gas-powered vehicle. You can still buy an electric vehicle, but the demand is for the ICE engines. And that's exactly how the free markets are supposed to work. Supply and demand should matter.
Well, we know Elon Musk has had some strong feelings around this whole conversation around EVs and those tax credits being rolled back, which may have inspired possibly, or at least fed into some of the social media posts we saw from him in recent days. Posts that he has since said went too far, according to his post from earlier today, that he regrets some of the things he said specifically about President Trump. And the New York Times just reporting, Chairwoman McClain, that Elon Musk did call Trump on Monday night before making that I regret post. But considering the things, in addition to commenting about Donald Trump specifically, that he's been railing against, or this one big beautiful bill that you have been advocating for vocally, is this an apology that you would accept? Do you think the president should?
Yeah, I think they are. Listen, the president is a very smart man, and Elon Musk is a very smart man. What did we think was going to happen when you have the most powerful man in the world and one of the richest men in the world? Is I think sometimes your emotions get the best of you, and they're both businessmen. They both care about the country and doing what's best. So I think this will be put to bed rather quickly, and actually it has been put to bed rather quickly. So I'm optimistic. Let bygones be bygones, and let's focus on what's best for the American people.
Well, does getting over this help passage of the reconciliation bill? I know it's coming back your way, likely with changes in the Senate, Congresswoman, and there were concerns that some of the fiscal hawks might have been paying attention to Elon Musk, urging them to vote no.
Yeah. Well, I think it doesn't hurt. Does it help? I think every little bit helps, right? And at the end of the day, I think we're going to get it back. I know the Senate is going to put their fingerprints on it. They've already told us they're going to put their fingerprints on it. My hope is that they don't change it too dramatically, because we have a very thin margin, and we worked for almost a year and had our family fights, family squabbles, family disagreements on this to put the best, most conservative package on the floor. So again, I'm optimistic that we'll get this done, hopefully by July 4th.
Well, and when we consider those Senate changes, we understand that Chairman Crapo in the Senate, who leads the Finance Committee, of course, is going to be briefing Republican senators about the changes he's looking to make this afternoon. Which one do you fear most that you've heard rumor of that could diminish the chances of it repassing in the House?
I hope they don't touch SALT too much. And the reason why I say that is because the SALT caucus, which we have here in the House and they don't have in the Senate for obvious reasons, they've been pretty dug in. And I'm not here to say they're right. I'm not here to say they're wrong. But they've been pretty dug in. And that was one of our biggest issues in the House. That just can't be touched. That would be the biggest... that'll be the biggest problem if they touch SALT, I believe. And Medicaid, obviously, which I don't think they're going to.
We've got our eyes on the New York, New Jersey, California delegations. Congresswoman, it's great to have you. And thanks again for being with us live from Capitol Hill. Lisa McClain is chairwoman of the House Republican Conference, and a great update there, real time.